Old MacDonald had a farm. E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm they had some chickens. E-I-E-I-O.
This is a film about the bonds between brothers and what happens when you have to break them.
I am going to have new parents. Have you found them yet? My mum and dad.
Robert and Scott are in foster care and need adopting. But to get them the new parents they need, they may have to be split up.
Santa Claus is real, Scott. I know. He's alive.
Deciding whether or not to separate siblings is one of the hardest decisions a social worker will have to make.
Where's my brother? My brother. Mr. Simon.
I really struggled with the prospect that we were even considering separating them. Sibling relationships really are the longest relationships that people will have.
For Robert and Scott, it's a decision that will shape the rest of their lives.
This is my brother called Scott.
What's your name?
My name's called Roberts. And he has a big fat ear.
And where do you live?
At Leslie's house.
And who's Leslie?
Our foster carer. Got really nasty to me because he's just squeaked off.
Robert, you answer. What's your answer to that question? Don't ask me. Is Leslie nice?
Yeah, Leslie's really, really nice.
Scott, stop it. Then how are you two together? Do you argue a lot?
Come in. Can I have a run with Robert?
Come on now.
Oh, really?
6-year-old Scott and 7-year-old Robert were taken into care a year ago.
Okay. Yeah, you made it. Well done. Your turn, Scott. Look, I'm going to have a go with him. Go. You made it!
Robert is ready to be adopted, but Scott's behaviour has been causing concern.
You all right?
The boys were given the news that they would not be going home to Mum. Robert cried. He wrote Mum a letter, which he didn't post. He didn't need to post it. And he said his heart was broken. And we all had a few tears. It was very, very emotional. And Scott just acted as though we hadn't said anything. Couldn't process the information, couldn't come to terms with it at all. And that's what we think has set him back.
I normally have chocolates when I'm touched, but not every single day, because I've been naughty.
What did you do?
Be naughty?
What did you do that was naughty?
At school. You know in my book.
Oh, right. Why didn't you want to come out of assembly?
I wasn't in assembly.
Oh, did you not want to go into assembly?
No. Well, I was in the toilet looking myself up. Laying on the floor trying to get sleep, but I couldn't because the light
Get
was
to
on.
sleep?
Yeah.
Why did you want to get to sleep?
I split the boys. They were sharing a room, and very recently I separated them into separate bedrooms. And Scott then, because he didn't have Robert there to tell on him, Scott found that in the early morning he could get out and take things. So I discovered that he'd had bags and bags and bags of sweets and biscuits. He's a great one for sneaking things out to school, and he is so imaginative in his ways to do it. He actually smuggled cards out in the front of his shoe. I mean, his foot must be cramped. How he walks, I don't know, but he does it.
Not going to my mum's ever. Not ever.
Did you kick that bit there?
No, I did that. And I've broken a light bulb longer, and then and one day I didn't break it. When I threw the toy, it didn't break. It just hit the roof again around the back, and it went off. He gives me a headache. He argues with me. Last time when we went in the car to go and get Vicky, he bitlessly punched her, trying to headbutt her at the back of his head, and he punched me on the mouth, and he whacked me on the tummy. He's horrible to me.
Right.
He pushes me a lot.
Robert and Scott's needs are so different that one family may not be able to cope with them both. Even so, the search begins for their new parents.
Have you found them yet? My mum and dad.